My phone just automatically goes on do not disturb at like 11 p.m. every night, and then it doesn't turn back on until like 9 a.m. the next day. So I try and not even look at my phone that much because it makes me sad.
Yeah, me too. I started using a new app that keeps the me off of Instagram. I was using Instagram last week on average 7 hours a day. It said,
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah, I don't fully believe those things. I think like if you don't close the app fully, it still counts.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But dude, I had a buddy uh that was so bad with his phone. He bought one of those like Amazon like alarm cookie jars,
yeah,
and it was like a clear cookie jar, and he would put his phone in the cookie jar and then just lock it. So like he would have to break the cookie jar open to get to his phone, or like wait for the alarm to go off so that he could
yeah.
open it. You know, it was like for people that couldn't control their cookie habit.
I've been looking at these minimalist phones. They're pretty cool,
Dude,
but I'm
I would love to just buy a flip phone and like can you have two phones with the same number? And just like when I
I don't
leave the
know.
house, I just take the flip phone. And like if I'm at home and I'm working or whatever, I use the iPhone, but then like once you leave the house, it's like
Yeah,
you just got the flipper.
dude, look at these minimalist phones. They're pretty cool. They have like all of the things that you only need, and they use like the ink, like a Kindle. They're pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but so what's considered a minimalist phone then? Like,
Like GPS, you get some music.
oh, all right. Yeah. I
Maybe you can read
mean,
some books. No Instagram, man.
yeah, but I mean, just delete Instagram off your phone.
No, that's like throw the cigarettes in the garbage. I'll go into the garbage. I'll go digging in the garbage and pull
Yeah.
them right back out.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
it's
I know.
real addiction. Like, and I don't think we really realize how bad it is. It's so bad for me.
Yeah. Well, the dream is to just like get to a point where you could just hire somebody to just run your social media, right? And then you're like, now I don't even have to think about it.
Well, yeah. I'm at this point now where I've given up on dreams, where like I had all these dreams of having a person that would do all the things.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like, I think this is it. I think we're at the top of the mountain and I should just sit and be like, hey, this is as high as we're climbing, uh,
Okay.
and be okay. It's weird. Could I actually expand on this a little bit? Just because
Yeah, please.
this is, it's been like, it's kind of been, my comedy, my stand up has never been better because I've never cared less. Like,
Mm.
I've never, like, I'm like, it's like someone said I have cancer of the career. And I'm like, this thing doesn't have much left longer. I'm gonna say what I want on stage. I've
Yeah.
been doing songs on stage. I don't even care. I'll just sing a dumb
Okay.
song I wrote when I was high.
Yeah.
People are loving it, but I'm like, it's over because all these young kids, all these young kids. They're so
Mm.
horny,
Mm.
not like sexually, but like they want everything.
They're
They have
hungry
these
for
big
the
dreams,
yeah.
and I'm just slowing down. And it'd be great if something happens, but I think this is it. So you and me,
And
this is as high as it got. But it's
and
kind of a nice feeling.
I was gonna say, I mean, it doesn't sound like you're super thrilled that this is where you are, but it doesn't seem like you're like upset about it.
Well, I'm not super thrilled at all. I mean, I would have loved to have for a
Yeah.
lot more people to have known about my stand up, but I guess it's also like I would just like more money. That's the thing. I just don't have any money.
Yeah.
I don't have any money at all. I don't
Yeah.
have any money at all. It's crazy how hard I worked at something to have so little money. Like it's just
Yeah.
so fucking crazy. So we'll see.
Well, buddy, I don't think that this is the top of the mountain for you. I think you've got plenty ahead and you shouldn't give up. And if you keep going, I think it'll happen. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people find success later in life. It
It's
takes
already
time.
later in life. I'm
It's not
later.
that later in life. How old are you?
I don't know, 43.
That's very early in the sense of like, I mean, you don't have the desire to stop doing stand up, do you? Like you want to keep
No,
doing it.
that's like there's no way to stop and there's no way I'll ever stop.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I'll just keep doing this. But there's no desire. What gets me upset is like there's no ability to sit down and make Instagram reels, which is the
It's the
way.
whole, yeah, the whole promoting yourself thing is a big part of it now.
We don't have to talk about it, but did we talk about Dominican Republic yet?
No, that's I wanted to hear about that. Yeah, we were texting, and then the next thing I know, you're in another country, and
Yeah,
I
it
had
was
no
wild.
idea this was happening. Yeah, please tell me about that.
I kind of had no idea it was happening either.
Yeah.
My friend was like, you got to come with us. We're going to go. We're going to set up these clinics in the Dominican Republic, and we're going to try to help some people, and you should come. And I was like, I am a comedian. I have nothing to offer. And he was like, you
Mm.
worked in a hospital. And I'm like, yeah, I did work in a hospital, but I don't think so I went, and my job was essentially like doing media and giving out toys and
Okay.
kind of running around and
Just being
doing
fun,
that stuff.
being the fun guy.
Yeah, yeah. So I just talked to a bunch of people who didn't know what I was talking about. I held a bunch of kids. Um,
Okay.
I made all the
What is the project called?
so it's called Emergency Project. That's the
Okay.
company, right?
Yeah.
And these guys go. If anyone's listening, follow, subscribe, donate. We're gonna be doing a fundraiser soon. I would love to have anybody who's in the New York area come out to that. Um, so he goes to places like war torn countries and shit, and just sets up clinics and then sees people and gets people medicine and stuff like that.
Wow.
Um, I did yell at this one kid. I didn't tell the story yet, so
Okay.
I don't think I've told it. So I
Yeah.
just saved it for this one. Um, there was this like so there was these two kids that came with us. They were like, and by kids I mean they're like 21 or 22, right?
Yeah.
They were NYU students, and they were in love. They were funny. They were like great little kids. But so when you go to the DR, this is what's crazy. We visited the hospital there,
Mm.
and the hospital there has two nebulizers. To put that in perspective, I have two nebulizers in my home. I have
Okay.
asthma. I have two.
Yeah.
I may have three because we have a battery one. I don't know if
Yeah.
we count that. So the hospital and a comedian have
Have
the same
this.
amount of nebulizers.
Got it.
Nobody in this place wears helmets. So everyone's riding these motorcycles like crazy. 500 motorcycles
Yeah.
everywhere. No
Yeah.
one's wearing helmets. Five children on a motorcycle with like one parent just holding
Yeah.
them. It's crazy. So
Yeah.
it's like the leading place for motor vehicle crashes and like head injuries.
Hmm.
In that hospital, they have one CAT scan machine. It is broken. So they have no CAT scan machines.
So
So
they just
essentially,
wow. Okay. Yeah.
they just guess. They look at you and they go, I guess you have a concussion. I guess you don't.
Wow.
Like
Sure.
they really don't have resources there. So these two kids were at the end of one day. One of the things I did was they made me wear a pregnancy belly, and we taught everybody how to deliver a baby like in the back of a car. And so they like delivered the baby through me,
Shouldn't you be
which
teaching them how to deliver a baby on a motorcycle? It seems like that's really what's happening.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but I wanted someone to take a video and like send it to Trump and be like, we are spending millions of dollars teaching people in third world countries how to deliver trans babies, but it's like,
Yeah.
but that didn't happen. So these two kids, they got on one of these motorcycles, they just started driving around with no helmet. And like I was furious. I was like, what the
Mm.
fuck are you doing? I was like, you saw they don't have a CAT scan machine.
Yeah.
It's like you fall off this thing, it's game over. Like
Yeah.
there's
Just
we can't. But they were like, like the dad of me came out. I was
I
like,
was
get
gonna
off this
say
thing
you
right
turned
now.
into a dad. Yeah. You
And I
are a
felt,
dad. You turned into their dad.
yeah, I felt really bad because it's like they are adults. But I was like, no, get the fuck
Sure.
off. Get off. You don't.
Well,
You look around you.
yeah. It's not the smartest thing to do, right? If you're there for these are people that came with you for this
Yeah,
project. Yeah. I
yeah, yeah,
mean,
yeah.
if you came to do a job, maybe don't put yourself in danger. They literally just showed you that none of their machines work, and they were like, "Oh, cool. Now let me hop on the back of this motorcycle really quick or Vespa
Yeah.
scooter." Well, how long were you there for?
Wednesday to Sunday.
And
So
overall, I mean, how would you rate the experience? Like, do you want to keep doing it? Like, would you go back? Like, how did you feel
yeah,
about
no, I'm gonna go as
it? That's
much as I
great.
can.
Cool, man.
The good thing was I don't even know if I love this. I like to pretend that nobody listens to this podcast because then I could just tell you all of the things.
Yeah,
Like I could be more open, right? I could just tell like no one's listening, so I could just tell you all of the things
let's go with
that
that.
I feel weird that I would feel weird saying other things. Is like, yeah, I took a weekend off of work to do this, and I could not afford that. So
Yeah.
I really just like it fucked me doing it, but I would go back because man, you see these places and you see them on TV and you're like, "Oh yeah, I know that happens." But then you go there and you're like, "Oh, I didn't emotionally know this was real." Like
Well,
there's no
yeah.
need. Go ahead. No, go.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, it's like you see it on TV, right? Like you watch like a fucking episode of Bourdain or something where he's in this crazy country and you're like, I can't, it's so unfortunate people live like that. And then he goes and eats a delicious meal and you forget all about the fact that all of this other stuff is going on and you change the channel and then it's, out of your mind forever. I
Right.
think that I think this is maybe a weird comparison, but it's like when people say everybody should have to work like a fast food job for like six
Yeah.
months
Yeah.
just to like,
Yeah.
it's like everybody should have to volunteer. Everyone should have to go to like another country and like get perspective. I think it would
Yeah.
help tremendously for a lot of different things, but I think there's so much value in realizing that like there's other parts of the world that just don't have clean water, that
Right.
don't have access to medical equipment.
Right. Here's the
So,
thing, like you have to with the to flush a toilet at the like the places we were at,
yeah.
you have to like take a bucket of water and then put the water in the thing and then flush it.
Yeah.
But like I'll say this, like the people there, we met so many people who were like nice and happy and
Sure.
all that. My only issue is that they don't have access to healthcare. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing where I'm like, look, man, like this it sure looks like a poor country, but a lot of these people are like happy, they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
But we as we're in this mountain church and we're at this mountain church driving on this dirt road to get people medication. This Coca-Cola truck drives by us.
Mm.
And that's the thing that really pissed me off. I was like, oh, we found a way to get Coca-Cola here, but we couldn't find a way to get
Yeah.
Tylenol here
Health.
or,
Yeah. Healthcare. Yeah.
healthcare. It's like, why can't these companies, because I guess there's no money in it. I don't fucking know. Like,
It's,
why
yeah.
can't we have that mentality to get those people?
I mean, Coca-Cola could build them a state-of-the-art hospital if they wanted to, and then
Right.
just like, but yeah, there's what 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 do they get out of it? Some good PR maybe, but it's like
Right.
they're going to sell Coke without the PR. So it's
Right.
like if they're not making money, and that's like the whole argument with like everything today with like billionaires and whatever. It's like, well, if I had that much money, I would just cure homelessness and
Right.
no one would be hungry. And you're like, yeah, why isn't anyone doing that? But
Well, that's the thing, right? I
yeah,
wanted to just tweet at Elon Musk and be like, "Hey, man, we need one CAT scan machine.
yeah,
That's you don't even have to deal with this. Just tell your guy to send this place a CAT. You
yeah,
just tell them this. You change this whole fucking area with
yeah,
what? Not even a CAT scan machine. A guy who can fix the CAT scan machine.
yeah,
Just come send. Just fix it.
yeah. I know. The craziest part is to me has always been that like we make the rules. Like
Right.
it's just us. It's just
Right.
humans. We're in
Right.
charge of this whole planet. And for whatever reason, we decide that like some people get clean water and some people don't. And it's just
Right.
because you were born in a certain part of the world. And like that's it.
That's what they kept saying. They kept saying, they just kept mentioning, like clearly they had an inside bit without me, but all the doctors kept being like, the geographic lottery. Like we won the
Yeah.
geographic lottery.
That's literally all it is. You just happened to be born on a better part of the planet than somebody else.
Right.
Like there's
Yeah.
so many people that are probably so much smarter and well equipped mentally to do and live and help people and they're just like on a part of the world where they just can't they have no access to do any of these things that they're capable of doing and I'm sleeping till noon and
Right. Right.
getting Taco Bell delivered at 1 o'clock in the morning. And then for some reason, I'm still sad. And you're like,
Right.
what the fuck, man?
Right.
So yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's,
Yeah.
you know,
But it's all perspective.
yes.
Like we've been talking a lot about the sadness, since I've been on this Wellbutrin journey.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's crazy.
but
I mean, I really have seen a change in you since we started doing this.
really? That's good
Yeah,
to hear.
for sure. I mean, when we first started doing this, maybe it was because we were doing them at night and you were sleepy, but I still for sure see a difference just in like clarity and mood for sure. And whatever, it's 1 hour a month that I'm seeing you or whatever, but I still could see and
Yeah.
I've seen it in other people where once they get on a medication, it really does. It's pretty incredible when you see it really working.
I mean, I feel like it's so crazy. I can't explain how
Yeah.
I feel. So like I wish I could explain to people that like because my worry was that you would just like almost like when you get high or you get drunk or you take Adderall, you mentally become different.
Mm.
Like I have not become different. I just don't have this wet blanket on me
Yeah,
anymore.
totally.
Which is like I thought I was going to be like, well, I'm not going to be able to write jokes, or I'm not going to be able.
I
I'll
know.
be different. It's like
Yeah.
no, it just doesn't let me. I just don't think 16 times a day about like. So I didn't take the pill a few days ago, and I
Yeah.
knew I was like, did I take my medication today? And I was like, well, let's do a recap. What were you just thinking about? My wife said she had to go into the city, and I was
Yeah.
like, my wife's going to get on the train, and someone's going to set her on fire, and I don't know how to have a conversation with my kids about her mother not coming back.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't need. Yeah, all right, man. I don't need to dwell on that. Sure, it's a possibility, but I don't need to be thinking about that shit. That's a crazy ass thought.
Agreed. I mean, yes, anything could happen, but this is why we take our brain pills
A
so
Gucci
that
baby.
so that we don't let our minds torture us all the time, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is
Yeah.
crazy.
I forgot. Were you on anything?
I don't take any like legitimate antidepressants. I do take something for anxiety. For whatever reason, my brain and body likes to just wake up in full blown panic. Uh,
Like a Vietnam guy.
like racing heart. I'm like so tense. Like sometimes I'll like have to tell myself to, and sounds so traumatic. It's not that bad, but like I'll just be like holding my breath because I'm like so
Right.
tense, you know?
Yeah.
So I do take something for that sort of anxiety, and it's like a very basic. It's like people take. It's called propranolol. People take it for like public speaking and stuff.
Oh,
It
right.
just
Yeah.
lowers. I just wake up with like high adrenaline, and this
Hmm.
just like lowers the adrenaline back up. But like I literally keep it next to my bed because as soon as I wake up, I take it because if I don't get it, if I don't catch it in time, it's
Hmm.
like half my day is just full blown like I'm trying to like someone's hunting me level anxiety. It's and whatever. I've gotten better at it. You know, I could deal with it. But yeah. That's my thing. And the whole just thinking about dying all the time. I've been having a lot of dreams about death lately. That's been fucking with me. But
Ooh. Like, any you want to tell me about?
I mean, I had one 2 days ago. You know, it's like you have a dream and then you just forget about it. Like it just
Hmm.
your brain just wipes it. You're clean or whatever. My brain can't wipe this one clean. Like I still could
Whoa.
picture it perfectly 2 days later now. Yeah, it's been fucking with me. Um, I mean, basically the main part of the dream that was fucking with me was like I had this like machine that was like essentially like I guess keeping me alive in
Hmm.
some sense. And I was just like trying to live my life and it was just like the anxiety of having this machine and constantly checking it. It was just like I just kept feeling like if this thing stops working or if I drop, I don't know. It was just this constant fear that like I was about to die and this machine that like was attached to me, if it stopped working, you know, it was my fault. And then I don't know. It was a very weird. I mean, you know,
Yeah, I get it.
explaining
That's
dreams
crazy.
is weird, but
Dreams are
yeah,
fucking weird, man. They're
yeah,
so weird.
yeah. It was like the thing looked like a Game Boy, like an old school Game Boy. Like it was
Oh,
like this
very cool.
brick and it was like attached to my leg. It was very strange. And yeah, I mean, this is partially probably why I wake up with just like my heart racing and I'm just like in crazy panic mode when I wake up in the morning because I probably have those dreams a lot and just don't remember them.
Hmm.
But yeah, I have my dreams are either terrifying or incredibly depressing. There's no like middle ground. It's really a
Yeah.
bummer. I would love to just have like my dad used to tell me he would have these dreams where he's just like like he's literally just flying like over like
Hmm.
a mountain top like beautiful. Like he said it's like the best thing he's ever witnessed in it. Like he has these like
Yeah.
beautiful dreams. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I just keep dreaming that I'm dying." So,
Yeah.
that's cool, man. Anyway, dreams are weird. I
Yeah.
don't like them. If I could never dream again, I would take that pill. All right. I do have some stories. None of them really that we need to super get into. This first one I really just want to talk about because I think it's funny,
Let's love
honestly.
it. Yeah.
The woman who killed Selena. Are you familiar with Selena?
Of course.
Okay.
Of
All right. I
course.
think most
J-Lo.
people are. Yeah. J-Lo played her in a movie. Fantastic movie. Saw it as a child. Just really just fell in love with J Lo. Um, the woman who killed Selena was recently denied parole. So
Well, why?
she great question. I fully agree.
Yeah.
So she's 64 years old now. She's
Hmm.
currently serving a life sentence for murdering Selena. She's in Texas, and she, she killed Selena in 1995. She was recently up for parole about like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and they denied
Hmm.
her, and she's eligible again in 2030. She's currently 64 years old, so not super young, but like
Right.
64 is still pretty active.
Yeah.
But she's a 64-year-old woman who's been in prison in Texas since the mid 90s.
30 years, right? About 30 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So my question is, how is she a threat to society? What is she going to go kill more Latin singers? Like she killed
Yeah.
Selena.
Yeah, she
There's
got her fill.
what is she going to do? How is she a threat? If 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 I was walking down a dark alley and I saw a sweet little 64-year-old Selena murderer and she
Hmm.
like tried to attack me, I'd throw her in a dumpster. Like I
Yeah.
would beat the living shit out of the woman who killed Selena. How
That's
is
what you
she a
say.
threat? How is she a
That's what
threat?
you say.
Yeah.
You walk down that you see her walking down that alleyway,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you fall to your knees and you're like, what the? You start throwing up. She pulls the poison vial out of her thing and she was like, your meal. I hope you enjoyed that lobster bisque soup. And then you
Yeah.
die. You're like, God damn it, Selena's killer. She'll figure out a way to murder. These old 65-year-olds, they like to poison the shit out of people or shoot you in your sleep
I
if she
just
wants.
but that's what I'm saying is like she was embezzling money and stealing, maybe embezzling stuff. She was stealing money from Selena. She ran her fan club, and apparently she had like some boutiques, and she was just basically stealing all this money. So Selena confronted her about stealing the money, and her thought was, well, now I got to kill Selena. So
Yeah.
again, let's just not put her in charge of a successful pop star's fan club, and then she probably won't have a reason to kill anybody.
I also got to say, right? Like it makes me think, right? Because I'm a comedian,
Yeah.
probably bigger than Selena was at her time. Maybe not. Does it?
Selena's very pop. She was Grammy award winning.
Do you not see the face of sarcasm? I just told you I couldn't pay rent. I don't even have a fan club. I have a
I
ceiling
do
fan,
love
dog.
the idea of us spending the rest of this episode arguing whether or not you're more
Motherfucker, I'm as famous as Selena. Imagine I was that delusional. I just want everyone to let everyone know that I'll tweet that. I just want to let everybody know I am as famous as Selena was before she died. Let's see how
please.
many responses.
Okay. All right. You're right.
So
Okay, go ahead.
she brings up a thing. They put a thing in my life where it's, if I had to confront my person for stealing from my fan club,
Yeah.
you got to call them and you got to be like, hey, I want to meet. I know you were stealing. This goes without saying. You don't have to kill me. Like we could work this out. It won't be the
Sure.
worst for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I might just fire you and that'll be that. We don't have to kill me.
I think the process of hiring these fan club employees needs to be way stricter. Like I don't know. I don't know if she was like I don't think she was part of the family. I think she
Mm-hmm.
was a family friend, maybe. But
Mm-hmm.
I think a big part of this is, yeah, maybe doing like a little bit better background checks. It makes me think of that David Spade story. That was I think that happened in the 90s as well.
Was it the night? I thought it was
Early,
recent.
n-
I thought it was like 5 years ago. We got to
no,
Google it.
no, it was like early 2000 because I remember him
Really?
telling it on Stern like when like Artie was still. It was like 2005 maybe.
Okay.
It was
All
a
right.
long time, maybe not 90s, but 20 years ago at least. Same deal. He had an assistant And apparently the guy was like trying to become an actor and he like wanted a part in one of Spade's movies and Spade was just like, "Nah, sorry, like it's going to my friend or this person who's been acting for 10 years or whatever." And then the guy shows up at his house while he's sleeping with a taser and tries to murder Spade. Like that he'd only been his assistant for a couple of years. It's like where do you find these people that are like, oh, I want to be a personal assistant, but also I'm totally comfortable murdering someone.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
There's two sides to every story. With
Okay.
this David Spade one, and I love David Spade, was
Mm.
that guy just being like, like give your assistant a part of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe he could have helped him. Maybe he was like, oh, next one. And then he's like, damn it, I've had enough. I'm going to kill this guy. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure I know what you're saying Spade should have helped him, and since he didn't, he deserves to possibly get murdered?
We don't. So here, let me say this.
Yeah.
There was a story I tell a lot. My next door neighbor
Uh-huh.
tried to fuck my wife, right? My
Oh,
wife told
okay.
me.
Yep, yep, yep.
And then I see him and I was like, dog, I'm going to fuck you up. Right. And he was like,
Sure.
let's go, let's go. And I picked up this giant rock. And
Okay.
in that moment, I went, think about what the papers are going to say tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not going to say hero comedian gets revenge.
Selena level comedian.
It's going to say
Murders neighbor.
It's going to say psycho with rock kills neighbor.
Yeah.
No one knows why. It's not even going to mention comedian. It'll just
No.
be psycho
They
neighbor.
they definitely won't link to your YouTube special, which is
Right.
unfortunate. Yeah.
I'm just saying I could understand that level of rage of being like,
Okay,
dog, you ain't going to put me in your movie.
a neighbor trying to have sex with your wife and then not being put in Joe Dirt Part 2 are totally different things. I
Yeah, I'm
think
not saying I'm with them. I'm just saying I get it.
I get the idea of being like, I getting so angry you want to murder somebody. I get
Right.
that. But then, yes, your brain does go back to maybe I should put this rock down. I don't want to be in prison like Selena's killer for the rest of my life
Yeah.
because I got just too angry one time. If you're gonna kill someone, you should be a serial killer and you should murder multiple people and really get your money's worth.
Right. I wish we had the multiverse numbers, right? Where I could look at it and be like, okay, in all of the multiverse, 70% of Greg's killed
Yeah,
someone in a car
sure.
in road rage. So then I
Yeah.
could be like, all right, I got to stay away from things that'll make me angry.
Yeah.
Because the numbers in the multiverse of how many times I just went to the left a little bit and
Yeah.
I'm in jail, I think I'm like one of the lucky ones who didn't do it, who didn't get there.
I mean, anything to do with family, like your wife, I mean, I get where like you just see red kind of thing. Like I do get that's I think most most people that get murdered, it's by someone they know. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's the statistic is like your wife or your husband is the person most likely to kill you. So
Right.
it's like that like passion is like a big part of most murder.
But that makes
Um
sense, right? The
yeah,
guy who's killing someone he doesn't know,
yeah.
is way
Well,
more
that's like
fun. That
whoa.
guy is, yeah. What's up with
Like the
that?
guy who just like kills hookers off of Craigslist. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just like mental illness.
Do you know I saw that guy?
Like
I have a story about the Craigslist killer.
so they Netflix just put out a documentary. That guy, the Long Island
I don't know. I don't know. I'm 99% sure it was this guy.
it
So
was it the architect in Manhattan? He was like an architect.
I'm going to tell you the story right now.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you the story and then we'll try to figure it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm with my wife. We get off the train.
Yeah.
I see blood splats and I go, that looks like blood. And
Yeah.
it's going up the steps. And we go, we should follow the blood.
Yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
wife and
Yeah.
I follow this trail of blood. It goes up the steps, out of the train, across the street. I'm like, what the fuck? Up these other steps onto the second platform to where I see a man laying there. And I
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck is that? There's a man laying down on the floor. And I run up to the people as I'm trying to like get someone or whatever to help.
Yeah.
Someone had already called. EMTs run up. They grab it. They solve the situation. I find out later the guy was bleeding from his hand because he was this Craigslist killer who was killing people off Craigslist. And he was bleeding from his hand because when he would stab people without that sheath or whatever it's called, the
Yeah.
guard,
Yeah.
it sliced his hand open. And so he was bleeding
Oh.
heavily from stabbing someone
Where
and
was the
ran.
where was the person he stabbed? They weren't on the
No, they were long
train.
gone. They were
So
dead
he
as could be.
so he stabbed somebody and then got on the train you were on and
Yeah.
then got off the train and it was whoa.
So it was a transfer. He got off my train and was transferring to the 7 train.
Trying to catch
So
the express. I get it. He's
yeah,
got
yeah,
places he's got places to go.
yeah. So I'd like to know if that's the same guy, but
I
yeah, I
think
mean,
they're different. I think they're different guys. There was this guy. I'll send you the link, dude. It's a crazy documentary. They just caught him pretty recently. Like, they like turn these documentaries around so quick now. But
yeah.
there was a guy from Long Island, wife, 2 kids, and they caught it. He ended up murdering, I think, like 12, like
Oh,
Craigslist hookers. And
this
like
was
he
the guy who
was,
was like at the beach. They were finding bodies
yeah,
and
yeah,
shit,
yeah,
and they didn't know
yeah,
who this guy was
yeah,
forever.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's
I
that guy.
remember they were like, "There's a serial killer on Long Island," and no one knew who it was. I didn't know
Dude,
they ever caught him.
they caught him like maybe 2 years ago or something,
Whoa.
something like that, pretty recent. And then Netflix made a crazy documentary. I mean, dude, this guy was so fucked up that at a certain point he was keeping the cell phones of the women he killed and then
Yeah,
calling their family members and being like, I fucking killed your sister. I'm coming for you next. Like, you can't do shit about. He was out of his fucking mind. And then was going to work in the city as an architect. Going, I mean, he was still very creepy, and like his house was creepy, his wife is
sure.
creepy, but he was going home to like a wife and 2 kids. There was like somebody interviewed him for like some architecture, whatever magazine or something. There's like a
Hmm.
video of like him being all friendly and smiley, like in an interview, and he's like, murdering Craigslist hookers. It's pretty wild, and he killed so many of them, probably like 12 to 15, maybe more. And yeah, was just spreading their bodies out on this beach. Fucking nut job.
Man, that's fucking wild.
But
Because you
that's what
think you
I'm
could
saying. Like, do that. Don't fucking try and murder David Spade because you can't be in,
So
Deuce
you're telling me to
Bigelow,
murder
male
hookers?
gigolo. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna kill people, I just don't think this is gonna make me sound like a psychopath, but I just think if you're gonna kill someone, you, killing one person and going to prison forever doesn't seem worth it to me. Killing like
Right.
12 people and going to prison, that makes more sense. Like
I
hitting your
also
neighbor over the head with a rock is like probably feels good for a second, and then it's all gone and your life's over. What you should do is kill your neighbor, bury him in the backyard, and then go after everyone else that he loves. I'm just
I
kidding.
just
Go ahead.
no, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing. I just don't understand why we don't have more Dexters. Why these people all go after
Oh, well,
good people?
yeah,
Why is there no one like I mean, like this Luigi and Mangione thing, right? It's like
he's a hero.
why is right? Like, why aren't there more people who like, hey, like if I feel like I gotta kill somebody,
Yeah.
like just look up the pedophile list, like look up the thing that these
Well,
people are doing more harm than good.
there was a guy who I think is in prison who did that. He looked up like he got a list of like child abuse, convicted child abusers, people that like
Right.
beat children, molested children, whatever. And he just went around with a hammer and like fucking murdered like 12
Wow.
dudes. And you're like, I saw like a TikTok about it, and every comment is like, hero, hero, where do I donate? Love this guy. Like, whatever. Like, you know, because yes, there should be more um vigilante type crime where we're going after bad people. And I think there probably are, and there's some crazy statistic I read somewhere where it was like there's this many current serial killers just like active in the world,
Yeah.
and you just like we don't even know. So maybe there are people out there just killing, doing Dexter style murders.
I've
But
a testament to my bad memory. I've
yeah,
probably asked you this every week, and I'll ask it again. And you just
sure,
tell me.
can't wait.
Do you think, like, let's say someone, uh, like, you're in a bad position. Do you
Yeah.
think you could kill someone who definitely deserves it and live with that?
Bad position in
Let's
what
you don't
way?
have any kids, but like if someone like threatened to kill my kid or something like that,
Sure.
I could kill a man easily and never like, yeah, I don't really care. Or like
Totally.
someone broke into my house. It's like if someone breaks in your house trying to kill you,
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
you think you could kill them and you can live with that?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I'd be like thrilled about it. Like when you say live with it, it would probably fuck me up a little bit that I had to kill somebody. But I think if it's either me or them, then yeah, for sure. I got a bat next to my bed that I'm pretty ready to fucking crack somebody in the skull with if I had to.
I honestly think that I could, if someone broke into my house and like
If it's
there's a chance that,
self-defense, yeah, I think it's
but I
easy.
don't think I think I go to bed that night. I think I'm like, all right, I call the police. I go, you guys got this? All right, I'm gonna go to bed now. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
that
sure.
I would feel bad about it. I think life is precious, but I'm like, what? I'm not going to put this on me.
Yeah. Yeah, well again, I think it's a defensive thing. I think if you're if you legitimately accidentally like kill somebody in a car accident or like hit a bicyclist or whatever, I think you feel bad about that, even if it was
Yeah,
genuinely an accident. I think that fucks me up more than protecting myself or my family. I think there's just different versions of having to kill somebody, you
yeah,
know? But like
dude.
if you see like even if it's like you have no connection, you see like a stranger attacking another stranger and then you kill that guy. It's like I think that would probably fuck you up more than if you're like, well, they were going to hurt my kids, so of course I killed
Right.
them. And nobody
I knew a
would not understand that.
I knew a girl who was driving at 3 o'clock in the morning on a highway, big highway,
Yeah.
and pitch black. She hits a guy who was crossing the highway, like should not have
Yeah.
been crossing the highway,
Yeah.
kills him.
Yeah.
And it fucked her up. We were really young
Mm,
too. But
mm.
I was like, yo, man, this can't fuck you up. Like, I get it's fucking you up, but there was nothing you could have done. She
Yeah.
wasn't drunk. She was just driving home. This guy was drunk. He walked, like, you're not expecting a dude in the middle of the highway. And it's like, man, I never want that. That's really upsetting. But like, I don't know how you live with that shit.
Dude, I literally had the same thing almost happen to me. I was driving on the freeway going like 70 and this fucking guy was running across the freeway. I mean, it was much
Yeah.
lighter out. It was, I was able to see him and able to swerve out of the like just kind of guide my car the other way. But even just almost hitting a guy going
Yeah.
80 on the freeway was like really fucked me up. I remember calling the police afterwards and they didn't even fucking answer. It went to voicemail. It's like cool. I guess
Yeah.
if I was in my home right now and somebody was chasing me with a cleaver and I got the fucking 911 voicemail, that would be great. But anyway,
This remind, and I'll end if
yeah,
this, but this always reminds me of that. Like, I think it's like the John Gotti story of like the neighbor who backed up and killed his kid by
yeah,
accident.
yeah.
And
Those
it was
people
like, what do you
disappeared, right? Yeah.
do? Yeah, he disappeared. I think like the story is he fed him to his dogs or something. Or I'm
Fuck.
mixing it up with Suicide Kings. I don't really remember what it was. But that's like, imagine you like
You
kill a
kill
guy.
Gotti, you accidentally kill Gotti's kid. I think you should just be allowed to be put in witness protection after that.
You
Like,
might
of
be.
course he's gonna fucking kill you. If he's
Yeah.
not gonna kill you, it's fucking the next guy on the totem pole is gonna fucking kill you. You know, the
Mhm.
guy he fucking had dinner with the night before, that guy's gonna kill you for sure.
Yeah.
That
I'll
would
say this about
scare, yeah,
this
that would scare me.
to bring it back to the Selena thing. I do
Yeah.
think that there's a chance she doesn't get report parole because they probably know if she gets out, someone will try to kill her.
You think
I
if
think I think there's probably something to that. She's probably safer in jail than she is out there.
I think if somebody wanted to kill her, it's they could have somebody in jail kill her.
Well, it's different because imagine you're on this, you're a huge Selena fan, you're on the street. Look who moves next door to you, Selena's murderer. Then she's kind of also shitty, right? Like she leaves her garbage cans on your lawn. You're like, you know
Yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah.
This annoys me, but also you killed Selena. I'm gonna take you out. No one's gonna know.
I feel, and then it's like we're just swapping one person in prison for another. Like now
Yeah.
Selena's killer's dead, and now we got the next door neighbor in prison, and it's just all. I'm just saying, I don't think there's any reason to be scared of Selena's killer. I understand the family not wanting her to be free and like going back to living a normal life. She served 30 years
Yeah.
and she's 60, almost 65 years old. She'll
Yeah.
probably be dead soon anyway. I don't think anyone's legitimately scared of Selena's killer.
I
Like I
agree.
said, I think it'd be okay if we let her out, but I don't know. We'll see. 2030. if this podcast is still going in 2030, I'll be interested to see if they let her out.
Could I tell you a little moment I had last night that I thought was weird? And I don't
Yeah,
know, maybe it's not. I don't know if it's worth saying, but
yeah.
I was watching Pee Wee's Playhouse, which I got to tell you holds up.
Of
It's
course it does.
so good. It's
Did,
so good.
did you see the trailer for the new documentary?
That's what made me have to
Yeah,
watch Pee Wee's Playhouse.
got it.
I put it
Got it.
on, and they show Phil Hartman had a character,
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh my God, Phil Hartman! I'm so sad he's dead. Oh, I'll take it
yeah,
too soon."
yeah.
And then I remembered Pee Wee is also dead, and I got double sad.
There is such a
Totally
bummer.
forgot he died. Such
Also,
a
the
bummer.
guy from The Matrix was in Pee Wee's Playhouse. What was his name? I
Yeah,
forget.
Lawrence Fishburne was
Yeah,
Cowboy
yeah,
Carl.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Honestly, one of like celebrity deaths don't really fuck me up. Pee Wee dying, I was bummed for like a week.
Yeah,
I rewatched everything. I even, he was just a great actor, such a great character actor. I rewatched Blow not that long ago. He's so good in
he's in
Blow.
Below.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah,
him being in
he's
Heat.
no, he's not in Heat.
Wasn't he in the back? Maybe was it Blow?
He was in yeah, he's in Blow. He's the weed dealer, the hairdresser weed dealer.
I don't even remember.
You got to
Man,
rewatch Blow, dude.
yeah,
He's so good. He's not a main part. He's just like a side character, but
yeah,
he's incredibly good in it. He plays like this
yeah.
like flamboyant weed dealing hairdresser, and he's just perfect. It's like, of course, like this is the perfect Mystery Men. You remember Mystery Men?
So good. Yeah, it was like the first
So
superhero
good.
movie.
Was it really?
It was like one of the ones which
Yeah.
because as a huge superhero fan, I would drool over anything that was close to superheroes.
Yeah.
And this one was like, oh, this is a superhero movie before any superhero movies. And it was
Yeah.
like, I was like, look, you could just do superhero.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. I mean, incredible, incredible. And there was one other one that I rewatched that was so good too. But yeah. I mean, I was really, really bummed. He was just the best. I mean, Pee Wee is just like such an original character. There's like I posted like all these clips when he died of like him going on Letterman when he would go on
Yeah.
Letterman as Pee Wee. He used to go on Conan all the time, like all of his Conan
Did you hear the
appearances.
did you hear the Conan story about his birthday? It was on Conan talked about it on his podcast
No.
about like every year on Conan's birthday,
Oh, he sent him like a birthday card.
he sends a million gifts
Oh,
all day.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All day up until midnight, doesn't stop. And everyone is like, if Pee Wee has your number, he's doing it to you on your birthday. He's
That
sending you 100 gifts on your birthday,
I
which I
love
think is so
that.
funny because
He
Pee Wee
just
has nothing else to do. He does have other things to do, but he finds this funny and sweet, which I love.
yeah, I think that yeah, there's probably certain people he really cared about and he wanted to celebrate them, however he could. Obviously, towards the end he was must have been really sick. But man, yeah, Pee
Can I
Wee's
tell you
just
what
the
I think would
best.
so this is what I want with AI, right? So I'm watching Pee Wee's Playhouse,
Yeah,
and he's got Cherry the chair,
yeah.
and he's got Conky the robot, and the Globy that's talking to him,
Mm,
and then he's got Jambi, Mecca Heiny Ho,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
What I want with AI is them to put AI into all of my inanimate objects in my house, just so I can be like, "Hey, Cherry," and he's like, "How you doing, Greg? Want to play a game?" I would love all of the
yeah.
things in my house to just be robots, or like like just talk to me and have fun conversations.
So, do you want like would you want the chair to like actually be physically able? Like would it like do you want the cushions to
Yes,
move? Yeah.
it could hug me a little bit. That'd be
So
nice.
I
I
was gonna
want.
say, like, couldn't they just like create like a Siri, only it just like, it's just like a little box that you like put in the chair, and then you could just talk to the chair,
Yeah,
but
yeah. That's what
but it doesn't like move and like it doesn't like come alive. You want it to
I
come
would.
alive.
I want exactly what Cherry is.
You
I
want
wanted the
you want to
arms to come
live
around. It
in
could
Pee
hug me a
Wee's
little bit. It could.
Playhouse.
It has eyeballs. They're moving around. Like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, Greg, what are you doing? And I could just talk to it. How fun would that be?
I mean, yeah. I also would like to live in a fantasy world. That sounds great.
Yeah, but I just have to be like, hey, just before we get started here, you guys
Yeah.
all got to be cool that I masturbate. Like, there's no way you're not gonna catch me. So everyone's got to be cool with that.
You can't
And I'm
sit in
farting.
the chair. Yeah, you can't sit in the chair and do it though. You could fart in
Yeah, I
the
guess I'd
chair,
have to.
probably.
Huh?
You could fart in the chair. You
I'd have to
can't.
ask the chair
You
if she's
can't.
okay with me farting in the chair.
Yeah, I
Like, do you mind if
guess.
I sit on this thing naked?
See, now you're getting into like you got to have farting furniture and then hang
I know. Yeah, it
like
does be weird.
personality furniture.
Well, because then I asked Cherry, it's like if I turn you off and fart on you, is
Yeah,
that disrespectful that I turn you back on and then you're like, I think you farted on me?
sure.
Is
Yeah.
that why you turned me off?
Well, eventually, from what everyone's saying, Cherry's just going to murder you in your sleep one night, I guess. So maybe don't fart on it
I
because
don't think the robots are going to kill us. I think they're just going to be friends.
I think it's going to be like everything else. Some people are going to be your friends. Some people are going to try and sleep with your wife. It's going to be all the same. Good robots and bad ones, you know?
Well, I think everything that we create, everything it's ever created is usually an improvement, right?
Yeah,
Like you make a toaster because you need toast. It knows how to toast, you know.
sure.
Everything that's ever made is usually an improved upon. So if we're making an improved upon intelligence, I think murder is just not even going to be in the mix for it because it would be improved upon us. And we only murder because we're deficient, because we're lacking. But
Yeah,
the
that's a good
AI, I
point.
don't think is going to be, I don't think the AI is going to be lacking if it's got a personality.
Unless a person who wants to kill creates that type of robot that also wants to kill. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you meet a guy and you're like, God, I hope that guy never has children because those kids will be garbage people. And it's
Mhm.
like you meet a guy and you're like, that guy better never be allowed to create AI because his AI will try and fuck my wife. And I don't want any part of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it'll be like everything else. But I mean, who knows? Maybe we're both wrong and we'll both be locked up by robots in no time. How are we doing on time? I think you gotta get out of here, right?
We could want to do one more. I got about 5 or 6 minutes.
Sure. Let's get into it really quick here. I think this one was interesting. We'll save the other two maybe for next time, but I thought this was just so silly. And this happens all the time. I see this story all the time. Man tries to kill his wife while they're on vacation in Hawaii. They're doing some hiking trail. They're up on some cliff. He tries to fucking push her off the cliff and doesn't succeed. She lives. She like
Oh,
wrestles with him or whatever, just doesn't, go as far off the cliff as he was hoping. And she lives. And, after a minor scuffle, he's arrested. But this is the part that I thought was interesting that made me even want to bring the story up.
I just can't
Th-
imagine that car ride home. Like I just can't imagine.
So uncomfortable. Look, I know I tried to kill you, but we got to go to like where do you want to go get dinner? Like
Yeah, we gotta
we
eat.
still have to eat.
I still
Um,
drove here, get in the car. Yeah.
dude, there was another story that we talked about last year where a guy was in his car with his entire family, decided to murder suicide everybody, drove off a cliff with everybody in the car, everyone lived. Now you're just at like the bottom of a cliff. Everyone's in the car and they're like, "What the fuck, dad?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?" I think it was a Tesla too, so kind of a good ad for Tesla.
Yeah. I
But
can't say I don't understand that guy though. There's a few
dude,
rides where you just go, I just take this thing right off the bridge.
absolutely. You just yeah.
But go ahead.
Totally get it. But the part that about the story that I thought was interesting, and the reason I brought it up in general, is because this man who did essentially one of the lazier versions of trying to kill your wife, pushing her off a cliff, is an anesthesiologist. If you have the ability to put people under, you have access to all of these medical tools. Why are you not using them to your advantage to murder your wife?
Come on, man. You know that this woman dies with anesthesia in the system. They know it's going right back to him.
I'm not
A
saying it
simple
needs.
push is so easy to be like, she slipped, she fell.
Guess what? She did slip and fall, and she's not dead, and he's in jail now. I'm
Yeah.
saying it doesn't have to be exactly anesthesia, but he has access to things. He
Right.
could create his own cocktail. He could
It's a
do like the
trail. It's all paper trails, buddy.
I agree. I agree. It wouldn't be super simple to pull off. I just think there's a way higher percentage she's going to die if you're poisoning her with hospital chemicals than trying to, fucking trip her while she's walking next to a cliff. It's
Yeah.
like, I just don't understand why not use the tools that are available to you instead of pushing her off a cliff, which does not work.
Hmm.
It has not worked. So I don't know.
I'll say
I
this.
felt like he was being lazy.
I was talking to some of these ER doctors,
Yeah.
and dude, they've mentioned anesthesiologists are kind of notorious for being psychotic,
I
for being
believe it.
crazy.
It's a weird profession. The
Right.
whole idea of just like you're in charge of just knocking this person out and like you're monitoring basically somebody that's conscious but not conscious. And yeah, I think you got to be a certain type of person to like be interested and like go into that specific of a field.
Yeah.
Here's one example.
Do you remember all the jokes in the 80s that would be made where like the dentist puts you under and then they wake up and like their pants are like
There was a
he
whole
unzips their panther?
Seinfeld episode about it.
Right. And now we
Yeah.
look like, yo, horrible that is.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, we
I
just were like laughing about this, like, maybe he fucking tried to fucking make out with me. It's like, no, that's completely unacceptable.
Seinfeld did a whole episode where Jerry thought that he fucked a nurse on top of him
Yeah,
while
yeah,
while he was unconscious from, laughing gas or whatever it was. Yeah, that was just, dude. I mean, we could do there's I mean, the 80s and the 90s was basically just like a time where you could make jokes about what is some of the most offensive and and like scary things that like humans were doing. It was just like everything was a joke back then because everyone was
yeah,
just doing a lot of cocaine. I feel like nobody was really worried about people's feelings or
yeah,
how jokes, affected. I don't know. Yeah, that was a big thing. People just like postal workers. Anybody that was like a mailman was immediately just like a psychopath, like was gonna
yeah,
like blow up, was gonna like blow up a building.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I got to
Uh,
run,
yeah.
but this was great,
You're
and I
great.
only got to run because I want to tell you one thing off of the air, which isn't
Okay.
a big deal.
Yeah. All right.
Um, but I will
Well,
say,
yeah. We'll wrap it up
want
here.
to say goodbye. If also, thanks everybody. Check out my other podcast, Welcome to Talktown, or my comedy special.
Yeah,
Nobody
please.
presents Greg Stone on YouTube.
Yes.
And
Go
do you have
support
anything you want to
Greg.
plug? You have any dates coming up?
No dates here, but you know, please continue. Spread the word. Tell a friend. Support the podcast. All that stuff helps a ton. And we'll be back in just a few weeks. Thanks, everybody.